You've used your power pass and you've done as well the first 5 raids of solo mode, Vault and Vicus, Kakelseiden, Brashaza, and Kyangle. Then of course it's time for Akkan, Ivory Tower, Thaemine, and Echidna. So this is part 2 of our solo raid guide. If you need any of the first 5 raids, go ahead and check out the channel because we have a video about those as well. But we're going to dive into Akkan, Ivory Tower, Thaemine, and Echidna today. So let's just get started and let's head into Akkan. Well, the character we're using today, of course, is the same as we did in the first video. It's going to be our 6060 artist. She doesn't have anything crazy. The only thing that we changed up is that we now have 2 DPS engravings. So we're still missing 3 of them, but you know, we're going to get to the stage where we're going to need a little bit more damage as support. So normally, of course, you would rock 5 engravings. We as well, of course, full tier 3 gems and normal cards. We're not going to use hyper and we're not going to use T-skill to DPS. So we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves our items for this raid, and they're a little bit different than normal. So we are going to grab ourselves Panacea because this boss is a little bit strange. We're going to have to do a stagger check, which requires us to cleanse ourselves at a certain moment. So I'm going to actually show this a little bit beforehand because it's going to go so fast when this mechanic actually happens. I want to show it right now. So this is an old clip I have, and it shows it perfectly. So you can see once the mechanic starts, you get yourselves a debuff. You can see the green guy, it will turn into a yellow guy, and when you can see the yellow guy, you can press Panacea to turn to the red guy, and the red guy allows you to do stagger early. So the boss mechanic, when the stagger mechanic starts, it's going to spawn once again a green guy once it starts. It's a lot slowed down, by the way, in this clip. And then you wait for the yellow guy, then you use that Panacea, and then that will turn into a red guy, which allows you to stagger. So that's what's going to happen in the fight as well. I just want to make sure that you guys know that beforehand, and that's why we use Panacea. So we're going to head inside of the gate right now. We're going to immediately get to that mech. Gate 1 is here, so super simple. He's going to start off with always a jump attack, go out and then in, and we're good to do some damage. So this first phase is not going to take that long. It's always done pretty quickly. Make sure to move around and dodge his yellows. The yellows are the most important things to dodge because he will go ahead and grab you, which is very annoying. So first mech is starting. Get yourself a orb defeated. Look at the color of the orb as well, because it's important to know which color you're going to defeat, because that's the color you're going to get. So we have a green orb right here. We're going to defeat the green orb. So we have to keep in mind we are green orb. Okay. This as well, dodge that because we're going to need it in a second. The boss right now is gone. He's going to jump down when black appears. We're going to go inside of the sword. And there we go. This allows us to survive the mechanic. So right now, again, we're going to do a little bit of DPS. But keep in mind, for the next mech, we're going to need that Panacea and we're going to need stagger ability. So make sure you have a few ready, because otherwise you're going to have the issue that you cannot stagger the boss. So we're going to do a little bit of damage. Hopefully it's going to be enough for it to phase it. And I think if I do this ability, it should be good enough. Let's go ahead and see. There we go. Okay, look at your hotbar. It's green, and when it's yellow, you press Panacea, and stagger. Go! There we go. So now he's staggered. It's quite a tough stagger check. If you, of course, get that stagger increase from your support, from your raid buff, it's a little bit easier. But if you fail this, don't worry about it. You're going to go ahead and be revived. But you have no more extra life for the rest of the fight, which is kind of annoying. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more damage. Go to the next phase. This one's pretty easy as well. There will be an orb, which you're going to have to go ahead and defeat once again. So there will be an orb on either side. So this at the bottom this time. Defeat the orb and stand where the orb was. Get grabbed, and that is the mechanic done. So now the next part is we have to look, of course, which color we had. We had green, not black and green. So if you're black, you go there. If you're green, I'm going to go ahead and defeat the green orbs. I know it's a lot of things taken, guys. We're going to go quite fast through this. There's so many mechs for Akkan. So don't touch these black ones if you are a green orb. If you are a black orb instead, you can, of course, defeat the black orbs, and otherwise you leave the greens alone. Alright, next phase. We're going to get ourselves a DPS check, actually. We're going to have to get him to 90 bars. This is going to be pretty easy. Just focus on dodging his yellows. You see right there's a yellow right there. Those yellows are a little bit annoying, but just go ahead and do some damage. Like, he is not going to be that tanky. You're going to be pretty overgeared for this, so don't worry about it too much. We're going to go ahead and go over. And this is going to be a little bit of a running part. So press G, of course, to get over that. We're going to go ahead and defeat these bugs right here. We're going to now see rubble fall from the sky. We don't want to go there. So the rubble falls at the bottom. We go to the top. So you saw it was falling there from the sky. We don't want to go there. And we have to do a space run next up because it's going to be a little bit of DPS here. Whoop. otherwise you get hit by all these. Some mobs here, kill these, and then some more mobs near the top. Wapam. Okay, so we do not go on hit by these little critters because they're going to give me paralyzed poison. They can stun you. So we're going to wait for the water to reach around the top part of the staircase. So that's what we're looking for. I know it's blocking by my cam, but we wait for that, and then we go in. We wait that long because otherwise we're going to get a really annoying mechanic by the boss if we go in too early. So we wait a little bit. So next up, the boss is going to drop down from the sky. We're going to do a little bit more damage, but you can see this area is different because you can now fall off the map, which you can do 3 times in total before you get a perma-death. So be very careful. It's these yellow abilities that can throw you off. Nothing else really can throw you off once you've succeeded the next mechanic. So just dodge the yellows. Make sure you dodge the yellows. So we're going to quickly go ahead and go to the next mech. But I'll show you as well what happens when you fall off the map. So we're going to go ahead and go out here. It's going to be a mob spawning. It's over here. Careful for the swords. Don't touch those right now. We have to touch them in a little bit to save ourselves from the big wipe attack. But take down the mob and you're good to go to wait. So you can see this green pulse is coming outside of the boss. We're waiting for the black pulse. And then we're going to go inside of the sword. So there we go. Black pulse inside and we're safe. So we're now going to go ahead and wait for the yellow attack, because I want to fall out of the map. I have a yellow attack right here. And this should put me outside of the map. It's pretty hard to get outside the map otherwise. So here we go. We're going to have to do spacebar spam. Spacebar spam. And if we get the yellow, we put it on there. There we go. So if you line it on the line of your purple, you will get yourself an extra boost to get outside of the water. And otherwise, if you spam spacebar real quick, you don't even have to do that little mini game. But I just show you if I do it a little bit slowly. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next mech, which is going to be our sidereal mechanic. We're going to use Elzuin's Grace, Control C when the boss drops down. So the boss comes in, drops down. We're going to use Control C right now. And we're going to have to do a stagger check. Use your whirlwind nade. Use whatever you have. Stagger him up. And now you can do big DPS. Go, because you get yourself a big DPS buff. You should be able to put him at ×0 almost. Like, you're going to do a lot of damage here. And there we go, it's ×0. So he is not done. We're going to have to do another mech after this. But this was the most important part, of course, to get right. Because it's going to make you sure that you're going to make it all the way to the end. So go outside. Don't get hit by that red. It does a lot of damage. And this mech is starting. So we're going to have to go ahead and make sure to destroy the shield of the boss every single time. So there's these little mobs spawning around as well, which are kind of annoying. So focus the little mobs a little bit, and we get ourselves, if we defeat 3 of them, Plague Sores, which allows us to do a lot more damage to the boss. You can see as well, when we're in this zone, we're gonna get a Plague Zone 5, 6, 7. If you have 7, just go out until it purifies itself. You can see right now I'm gonna go back in again. 1, 2, 3. Don't go above 7. Just go out and purify yourself. See, it happens automatically. So what we have to do is just focus on the shield, take it down, then just run around the outside until another shield spawns. Go in, defeat the shield, and then go out again. As long as you just don't go above that 7 stack, because at 10 stacks, you're going to go ahead and just die. So that's why we do 7, just to be sure. And every single time we hear the bell ring, we take down the shield. We just go ahead and chill, have a great time. And we're good to go to that phase. So right now in this last phase, if you are above 1640, you can use your hyper skill to defeat the boss to 0. But of course, we're not doing that in this video. We're not using hypers, but I'm just giving you guys, of course, the option. If you want a hyper right here, this is a good place to do it. So we are going to go ahead and use our Control C. In my opinion, it's probably the best thing to do, because this allows you just to DPS without taking damage, without being knocked back, without anything. So we're just going to go ahead and defeat the boss, because he's not that tanky anymore. And there we go. That is Gate 1. A lot of good stuff going on. I know Akkan is a pretty mechanic heavy fight, but I think this should be good. Gate 2 once again has a stupid mechanic I have to show beforehand, because otherwise it doesn't make sense if I try to explain it mid-run. So this is going to be the lantern mechanic, and I have to explain this because it's really hard to understand otherwise. Of course, you can survive this Witcher instant one-shot, but I think it's nice to know, especially if you're going to do the group version. So the mech is going to start, okay? The boss is going to have 2 skulls next to him, and it's either going to be his left or right skull that's going to lit up. If it's the left side that glows up, we're going to have to go right, okay? So that is the first thing you need to know. The skull side is the opposite side you're going to go to. So if it glows on the left, we're going to go to the right. If it glows on the right, we're going to go to the left. Okay, that's the first logic. Then, the first turn is always 90 degrees, okay? Always 90 degrees. Then the second turn is either another 90 degrees if it goes the same direction. So, for example, we're going to go to 3 o'clock in this one. So, 3 o'clock. Okay. So now it's going to show another skull on either the left or his right side, which will be top or bottom. So it's going to show at the bottom, which means he gets to turn to the left. So it's not 90 degrees towards the top once again. It's going to be a full 180. And that is because the third one is always back to where you started. So we started at 12. So the third skull indicator is always going to be back to 12. So we cannot go to 12 for the second one. So instead of going to 12, we go to 9 because he just goes at it and does a big swing instead. So look at this. Boom. You see right there, we're going to go to 9 o'clock. Okay, and then the third one we don't have to think about because it's always back to 12. Okay, there we go. And then this is phase 1. He does a maximum of 3 and a minimum of 2. Okay, keep in mind this is the order. So next up, we're going to see right. So that means we go left. Okay, we go left, 90 degrees. Then you can see the bottom one glows. So that means we're going to go to the right. So instead of going to the bottom, we have to go 90 degrees to the right instead. 90 degrees to the right. And we don't have to think about the last one because it's always back the third time to its original position. So we're going to go back to 12 original position. All right. So if you get yourself a third one, you can get one of the 2 patterns. Either you get a flamethrower, which is just going to turn into a circle and it can go left or right side, just don't get hit by the flame. Or it's another skull that pops up, which is this one. And this one is a bit tricky because it's a full 180 turn and a full 180 turn back. But this is only on the third one, so don't be scared about this one. It doesn't happen that often. But this is what it's going to be. So it's going to be a full 180 turn in one go. Look at that. And then go back after a little bit. Bonk. And that is the mech. I know it's quite hard to understand. I hope I explained it a bit thoroughly, but otherwise we're going to go to the mech and you're not going to know what's going on. So let's head into gate 2 right now and keep that in mind. So 90-degree turn can be another 90 or it's a 180. Original position. One more time. And if we get a third one, it's either a flamethrower like this one, and it will go in a circle, or it's going to be that 180-degree turn. So we're going to do a little bit of damage right here. We don't want to do too much damage, otherwise we're going to go to the next mech right away after this one. You can skip a mech if you do enough damage, which is going to be this tentacle mech, which you're going to skip. So tentacle mech is super easy. You're just going to go ahead and take down the tentacles that appear. That's it. There's literally nothing else to do. Just 2 tentacles and that's it. And then we're going to do a little bit more damage and go into skull football. This is quite an annoying mechanic, but you know, it's pretty good. Inside of solo mode and hard mode and normal mode and hard mode, you have to use some other battle items, so we don't really care about that. We're not in there right now. So go outside of the circle. We don't want to be in the middle. And wait for the cutscene to end. And we're going to see a skull appear. So that skull, we're just going to go ahead and put on the left side. So you can see these circles popping up, right? These circles. This is important. You need to know where these are. So if we put the skull inside the circle, we get a cleanse and we get a movement buff. But we don't want to get hit by this red guy. You see the red guy? We don't want to get hit by that. So we're running away with the skull and we're throwing the skull in these yellow circles to get cleansed and to get a little bit of a movement speed buff as well. So don't get hit by the guy. Just keep running in a circle. Use your Q to throw the skeleton skull and pick it back up. And just repeat this for the whole mech. You can see the mech is in the middle. There's like a little clock ticking down. And that is what we're using. And we're good to go. So it's over now. Alright. You can immediately DPS the boss if you want to. We're not going to do too much because otherwise we're going to see no mechanics. But this boss, like I said, is going to be quite easy. Red flames, don't be in the middle. You're going to get a lot of gauge, which can stun you if you get 100% gauge. And the boss right now is just going to do a few patterns until he's going to charge his wipe attack. The wipe attack can be seen once he teleports away from the map. So if we see him disappear, it is going to be wipe attack time. So don't get hit by the reds. and don't get hit by the middle, because this is all going to give you gauge. Look at this. Look at the gauge is going to give me. Look at that. See that? If I go in there, it's going to take gauge. It's quite slow in solo mode, but everything in here gives gauge, and we do not want 100%, because that means we could die from something annoying. So right now it teleports away. So this is a wipe attack. Don't be in front of him. Don't be in front of him. Go away from him. And he's going to slice, and this could one-shot you, or of course do a lot of damage. So be careful not to get hit by this. This is a blind. Look away. Okay. Laser. And then after this, it's time for the lantern mechanic. The one I just explained at the start. We're going to get after this. If you get this, just put the cross outside. And wait for it. And move out. There we go. So here we go. He's going to go to the middle. We're going to go to the top. Same premises. 90 degrees back, or 90, 180 back. Okay, let's see. So we're going to get ourselves skull on the left. So we're going to go right. Okay. Then we have skull at the bottom. So we go... skull at the top, we go bottom. Then we go back to the top. You see why it's so chaotic for me to explain otherwise? And we go to the left. We're going to go all the way to the right, because it was at the bottom. And then we're going to go original position top. Then we get a third one. We get the flamethrower. So we go to the position he doesn't go to and go back to the top, and that's it. So this is why I explained it beforehand. It is really hard to explain otherwise mid-fight, and it doesn't make sense for people. So we now just go ahead and repeat the same thing. So we get ourselves another skull football and stuff. Okay, this is a safe spot, just be in the safe spot. Right there, be in the cone. So it's going to repeat the same thing. So we're going to get ourselves another skull football, and we're going to get ourselves another mech as well at the end. So just do a little bit of damage. A little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there. We as well get ourselves another one of those red mechanics we had before, with the middle being like turned into fire. Just do a little bit of damage. I don't want to phase it too fast, in case you, of course, have difficulty. I want to show. There we go. Red flame. So he's immediately going to teleport a raid right now. We're going to use Ctrl-Z Thaemine when he appears. Ctrl-Z appears. We're going to use him right now. And he's going to use a special ability. That special interaction. Look at that. We have Nineveh and Thaemine taking down Akkan. Go! This is the end, Akkan. Pew! So there we go. And we are good to go to the final football mech probably right now. So here we go. There's another circle, and we're gonna get ourselves another football mech. So after this, we're just gonna go ahead and put him to 0 HP bars, and then it's time for the final mech. I know it's already been a lot, guys. I know. It is what it is. Akkan is the first really mechanic heavy gate, and that's why, of course, I wanted to like prep it in a different video, not like everything in one, because it will just take hours. Like, this recording already will take quite a bit for Akkan alone, and we're only at Gate 2. We're not even Gate 3, and we have 3 more fights to go. So let's go ahead and put this up, and put this in there. And we're just running inside of a circle. Super easy. Don't worry about it too much. And we're waiting for that timer to end. This time, at the end of the timer, we're not going to immediately be able to do DPS, sadly. The second one is always a little bit stupid. But it is what it is. Okay, our timer is almost over, so we're just going to throw it out. And the boss, see, is not invertible right away. He's invincible. Alright. And we're just going to go ahead and do some damage. He's going to do another one of those tentacle mechs if you're really slow. Like I said, you could have already put him at 0. Like, I'm just doing this very casually. But, you know, some people are just going to be scared when doing these raids. So I want to make sure that I give them enough time to see all the mechanics happening inside of here. Of course, he does some random basic mechanics, but these don't really matter that much. Just put him at 0 HP. And we're going to go to the final mechanic. So this one requires your counter often. So make sure that you have your counter. Right now, of course, I'm not going to have counter. You can see it for 15 seconds. I don't have another one. So let's see what happens. We're at 0 HP. And we're going to mainly make use of Thaemine and our destruction bomb and our destruction abilities. We have to do some destruction on the boss. So let's go. And we're going to use our destruction bomb on him. And we're going to use our ability. So don't use your counter. You see right there? We're going to have to counter this mob with the long yellow line. If we do that, we get ourselves a sidereal meter. Use Thaemine, Ctrl-Z, and another counter at the bottom. Bop. Look for the long yellow line. This indicates a counter. Every 2 counters, we can use the sidereal. Careful for the red there. There's a lot of damage. Use another sidereal. Use your destruction aid if you want. Use your destruction abilities if you want. Counter right there. Bonk. One more time. And then if we get one more counter, we get another Thaemine, which is going to be at the top. If you fail here, by the way, you do get yourself... You can go ahead and revive, which is kind of nice. So even if you fail the destruction check, you will survive if you have a life. So there we go. That's why we bring destruction nades in case you don't have a life, you know. And there we go. We're good to go. That was gate 2. I know it was a lot to take in. I hope that you guys understood the lantern mechanic. I hope I explained it well enough. It's been like a year and a half or 2 years since I had to explain Akkan lantern mech. So I hope it made sense. Okay, gate 3. We're gonna have another thing to look at before the mech starts. So this is gonna be the 2 shapes you have to remember. We have either a hexagon shape or a star shape, and that's depending on the 1 o'clock statue on the screen right now. So this one right here, it depends on which way he's facing. It shows which kind of pattern we have to do. So if the statue's facing towards on the horizontal or vertical line, it's going to be star, and otherwise it's going to be hexagon. So this is the 2 shapes you have to keep in mind that exists for this pattern. Okay, some other stuff I have to showcase. So we of course have this. So keep those 2 shapes in mind. I'll show them as well once we get to the mech. We have ourselves 3 other mechs that are really important because they actually don't give you a life back if you die to them. And that's going to be the red mech, the blue mech, and as well the green mech. So first off, we have the red mech. This is going to be not tied to another player, but tied to Akkan. So just keep in mind, this is how it is in solo mode, but I don't have the clips for that. So we have the red line. If you get yourself a red eye and a red text above your character, you can see right there, you see the red eyes. You're going to have to go away from Akkan. So don't send your Akkan, go away from Akkan as far as possible. And you're going to then be pulled towards Akkan. And if you touch Akkan, you are dead. It is what it is. So that's the red one. We have the blue one as well. This was the exact opposite. If you get blue one, you stay close to Akkan. So, of course, in this video, we're going to be close to player. But we only have Akkan. So be close to Akkan instead. And then we have the green version as well. I actually don't know if this one appears in here, but it's just going to drop pools on the floor. So just drop pools and don't get knocked up because they're just going to go ahead and do some damage. I don't know if green exists actually in solo mode. I normally, the boss normally doesn't live long enough for me to see these phases, but these are really important because they are not going to give you your revive, even if you had it if you die to these. Okay, as well, last thing, metal items. I'm going to grab myself a whirlwind for the first mech. As well, I'm going to grab myself corrosive bomb in case I put the boss at 0 HP bar. So there's 2 ways to end this fight. It's either with a sidereal or it's with a corrosive bomb. So make sure that you have both of them just in case either or the other option happens in this fight. So the boss is going to spawn. He's going to be a little bit annoying. We're going to go ahead and put him into this first phase right now, which is going to be the stagger phase. We're going to have to go ahead and block a laser, and then we go ahead and stagger him to make sure that we can do big DPS at the end. So he's going to now spawn 4 statues. 3 of them will be blocked by NPCs, and 1 will not be. So in the top right, there will be saws falling down. And these saws, you're not allowed to stand in them because otherwise you will take a lot of damage. Don't do it. So now we're going to go ahead and stagger the boss. So use our whirlwinds, use our abilities, use everything we have. You can literally make it without whirlwinds as well. So don't worry about if you don't have a whirlwind and you're like, oh, I forgot, you know, do I have to go back? No, you don't even need the stagger setup as well for the game. So don't worry about that too much. And we're just going to use our abilities. So there's going to be another set of saws. So just dodge them, prioritize dodging, and then go back to stagger. So boom, boom, boom. Okay. And wapow, there we go. Let's use ourselves an ability as well. I'll just use a T-skill real quick because we don't have any abilities currently, but it is what it is. Like the next mech is coming up very soon as well. It's around like 140, 150 HP bars. So let's do a little bit of damage right here. I do go to the safe spots if this mech happens. Like, this boss has a lot of different random mechs. Don't worry about them too much. The only ones I explained are the ones that are important. Like the other ones, even if you die to them, you have an extra life. So don't care about it too much. So we're going to have the statue, hit him a few times, and then we're going to grab ourselves the line. So there's going to be an NPC at the top. Give the line to the NPC so you can just walk through him, and boom, he has it. Wait for your debuff to go away, then grab the line back. So we're going to grab the line. It's a little bit finicky, so don't worry about if it doesn't work the first time. Then we're going to run to the back of Akkan and just give the line to him. Our debuff is going to go away, and we're going to stagger. You can use a whirlwind if you want to. And there we go. So now, of course, this gives a good time to do a little bit of damage. And you can do a lot of damage here. Like, a lot of people would probably put him to 0 HP here as well. And we're good to go. So he's now going to do a few abilities. If he does that, he turns his scythe around. Go away from him because this is going to stun you. And he's just going to do a few more abilities. We're just going to basic attack. And after this, we're going to get the statue mech. So this again is going to use that little image I had before. So this one. So we're going to look at what the statue is going to look like. I'm going to keep it on the screen for a little bit so it makes sense. We're in the top right now. And we're going to see what's happening. So it's going to be a star shape. So we're gonna have to make star shape. So we can see that the ones that are wrong are going to be the 3 o'clock and as well the 5 o'clock statue. So the other ones are correct, as you can see right here. So we're gonna take off the overlay and we're gonna fix the statues. We're gonna have to press G on them and we're gonna fix them and make a star here. So this one's correct, and then we're gonna use another one at the bottom and we should be good. Again, we get another DPS opportunity right after this. Careful for the lasers. They're doing damage, as you can see right here. So careful for your HP. Use a potion if you have to. And once we made the star shape, we're good to continue. Take down the boss. So if you get him to 30 HP bars, right now he's going to go into the final phase. If you put him to 0 HP bars, we're going to do something else as well. So I'll show both scenarios what should happen. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a little damage. I'm going to hopefully get myself one of the color mechs as well so I can showcase those. Green curse. So like I said, it's going to drop puddles. So he actually does the green and solo mode, which is interesting. So careful for the boss. He's going to shoot a laser towards you. There we go. Laser. So if he does a little dash right there, there's always going to be a laser afterwards. We're going to see another one right here. This is going to be a out-in. This is where bulk of his abilities happen. So he's going to TP away, and we're going to go ahead and go to the bottom. It's going to be cross. So 1, 2, in. Because if he faces towards the top, he always does this cross pattern. If he faces towards the bottom, you're just going to hog the bottom left of the map right there. Right now it's at 22 bars. This is probably what can happen as well. So we have one of the two scenarios. He's right now going to TP away. We're going to stand here in the middle. So we're going to have to use way after below 15 HP bars, okay? But if you put him to 0, you're going to get a different mech. So we're going to show the 0 mech instead. But if you would use away at below 15 HP bars, the boss dies as well. And you don't have to do this final phase, which is very annoying, okay? So this is going to happen right here, and you can immediately do damage. And the second, he turns 15 HP bars. So right now, let's see what happens if I maybe using one ability. He is 15 HP bar right now. I could use way right now, so Control X to save him, but I don't want to get hit by this yellow. So just make sure to be honest as always. So we're going to go ahead and put him to 0 instead. He has 0 HP bar. So if this happens instead, we are not using Wei, okay? So if he's 0 HP, you do not touch Wei. You're going to use Inanna instead. Control C, okay? Control C. And this allows us to save, use a corrosive bomb, and do destruction. That's all we do right now. We focus on destruction. We need to destroy him. Destroy him. Destroy him. Use everything you have. And there we go. Because we use these corruption nades and because we use Inanna, we cannot fall off. And because of the corruption nades, we can stagger him easily. So that is gate 3. I know it was a lot to take in. A lot of things to do. I will... do I have the spin? I do have that as well. I'll show it one more time. So you can see the skulls are moving clockwise. So we're going to go clockwise in little pizza shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have to pre-move them as well. And, you know, this mech is quite annoying. So, that was Akkan. This already was like an hour of recording. So, we're going to go to the next one, which is going to be Ivory Tower. First off, battle items, we need ourselves a new one, a flame grenade. Grab that up if you want to. And you can just already top off the second slot with a destruction nade for gate 2. So, one little note, I'm not going to hold back on DPS as much anymore because you're at an eye level where you're not that far off me anymore. I know I'm 60-60, I know, but my setup as a support is pretty bad. We have ourselves only 2 engravings, so the damage difference is not going to be as huge anymore as it was before, like 1540, 1520, whatever content. So, because we're already on 1600 eye level, and you're going to have a lot of stuff at this point already doing a lot of damage, especially on DPS. Of course, support's going to be a little bit slower, but it's not that far off, I'll be honest, with this amount of engraving. So we're gonna go ahead and take on the plant lady. This girl doesn't have that many mechanics, so don't worry about it too much. This one is like a warmer brown. Gate 2 is where the real stuff is at, and gate 3 as well. Oh dear, oh dear. So he's gonna teleport to the middle. And she's just going to do a little bit of damage. I'm just going to use a T-skill right here. I don't really care. Like, this phase, she doesn't do anything. And we're here mainly just looking for the next mech she's going to do, where she's teleporting to the middle, and we're going to have to do some stagger. So, and we don't bring a whirlwind nade because we need the flame nade for the final mech to make sure that we make it out. So we're just going to do some more damage. And now she goes to the middle, and we're going to have to pick up 3 green spikes. And don't touch the purple spikes, so we have a green spike right here. If you don't catch them, it's fine. There's multiple of them. So we have 3 right now. We get ourselves the sharp thorn, and this increases our stagger. So we're going to wait right now, dodge these yellows, and do stagger at the same time. You can see with the 3 stack, it's very easy to stagger up, and you can do a little bit of damage here as well. So boom, boom. And there we go. We're going to do a lot of damage. She's going to go face very fast. So, we're almost there. This is like, we have one more mech. So, like I said, Gate 1 is literally just a warm-up. We have one more mech after this. Don't worry about it too much. And this mech is going to be very simple as well. So, we're just going to go ahead and do some damage. And she's going to go to around like 45. And then she's going to phase. Just do some damage. There we go. So don't chase her anymore. She's just going to go ahead and run in like half a circle. And she's going to disappear. And don't touch her anymore. Don't use abilities. Don't touch the middle, because this is going to be reflect damage. You're going to take a lot of damage. We don't want that. So we now have a target. The little plants are going to spit out a golden thing that follows you. And there's going to be a golden orb on the map, which we want to go ahead and take down with these golden things following us. So it's at the bottom right here. So if you stand right here, it's going to put a yellow and it's going to numb it. You can see these pink orbs as well. Auto attack them once, they fly into the boss. So you can see at the top of the HP bar, there's going to be this little blue icy spiky icon with 16 seconds. This is the reflect which we have to care about. So our goal is just to run in a circle, hit these pinks, and if we want to hit the yellow as well with the yellow that comes towards us. If we don't do it, it's totally fine. We're just going to ignore it for now. And once the spiky thing is gone, we throw a flame in the middle. Spiky good thing, gone, flame in the middle, go. So once it's in the middle, it's going to burn the boss. And she's now very timid. She takes a lot more damage. And that's the whole fight. Literally just nothing else to do anymore. Just dodge the yellows. If you get hit by the yellows, you just get grabbed. And that's it. Nothing really goes on there. Like I said, this whole boss fight is over. There's nothing anymore. She just, oh, look away from this. This is like a charm. If she does it, she does like a pink blink. But yeah, even if you get hit by that, don't worry about it too much. You're not going to die. Nothing much about this fight as a whole. So there we go. That's Gate 1. Like I said, it's very, very easy. Gate 2, Gate 3 is where it's at. It's a lot harder. So let's just go ahead and dive into Gate 2. Gate 2, we have ourselves a new consumable. Take this from the side of the map if you've never seen this. Of course, maybe you missed it. Grab yourself a few of them. They're going to be in your inventory and drag them on your bar. So we need ourselves a destruction bomb and as well this guardian restraining orb. If you throw it, it goes on the floor, and after this duration on the outside ends, he's going to shackle the dragon. Of course, the dragon's going to try to avoid it, so we're going to throw this at certain times to make sure that we land it, which normally have to like a counter or anything like that. It doesn't really matter too much. It only matters at the end. So make sure that you use these orbs correctly. If you need more of them, you can always grab more of these. So we're going to head into the fight. He's going to roar with a red roar, and after the red roar, we're going to throw the orb. So look at this. He's going to roar. After the red, we throw the orb. So the red is gone. We then throw it. Stand in front of it. So then the dragon's going to get caught. And now we get a stagger check. Careful for this. And now we can go ahead and stagger the boss. Make sure that you hit this. There we go. It's a pretty stagger check. And then you can see these red orbs. These red orbs are going to give you massive cooldown reduction on your skills. But if you get hit by the boss, you're going to go to 10% HP. So be very careful for this mechanic. Actually, it's 20% solo mode. But just go ahead and take down the boss. And dodge his attacks if you have to. But like I said, you not go that low. But don't panic potion. You don't have to. Another stagger check after 3 abilities. So every 3 attacks he does his little stagger check. So make sure to try to hit it. If you don't hit it, he breaks free and he's going to do more annoying abilities. So you're going to continue this until he goes to times 90-ish. So we're going to go ahead and do this. You can do a counter as well here. But there we go. Curl up, counter. And then we can do another stagger check. And if the stagger check is done, we can throw another nade. So stagger check done, we throw the nade. So every time we do a stagger check, we can throw a nade to restrain him. There we go. As you can see right there. Alright. So next up, we're going to get the mech. So make sure you have yourself a counter for this, because we're going to need a counter for this mechanic. So save your counter if you need to. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if you fail the stagger checks. They're quite annoying, especially on support. And we're going to get ourselves the mech really soon. Let's just go ahead and just phase him a little bit. It's going to go to the middle real quick. There we go. And this is the phase start. So he's going to spin around, and it's going to be a blood thrill coming out of him. We need to see where this is. It is going to be bottom right. We go outside. It's going to be a counter here. Get ready for the counter. The dragon's curling up after its counter. Curl up, counter. Hit it. And then we're good to go. So make sure you do that. It's pretty hard. It's your first time. You'll probably need like 1 or 2 or 3 attempts for it. But that's how it works. Always be on the outside of the dragon. And get yourself your red orbs and stuff. And now we're just going to go ahead and focus on the dragon itself. So you want to get him to around times 25 as fast as possible. He will do another counter pretty soon. Not yet. So he's going to go ahead and like step back, and then he's going to press a counter. Wait for it. It's going to happen pretty soon. Let's see. There we go. So this again, you're going to go ahead and stagger him. And once you hit the stagger, okay, we didn't do enough stagger. Like I said, it's pretty annoying on support. It is what it is. And we're just going to do more damage. Just do more damage, do more damage. Like I said, I'm not even pressing that many buttons. I'm not going super ham on everything. So even if you don't even succeed a single of these stagger checks or breaks or anything that the boss can do, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, this boss is pretty much a pushover in solo mode. And once you reach low enough HP, he's gonna go ahead and phase it up. So if he phases, we're gonna go to the center of the map. So if he phases right now, he goes all immunity. He goes away. We're gonna go to the center of the map. And we'll wait for him to drop down. He's either going to drop down on like the top or the left side, and we're going to go all the way opposite of him. So let's see where he's going to go. He is going left side, so we're going to go all the way top right. Click here, and then you can stop clicking as well, because the camera angle is going to change. Look which side he's going to breath his fire on, and we're going to go there. Stay on the outside, wait for it to pass, and then go in. So these orbs will stun you, and we're going to have to do a stagger check. So make sure that you know what your big stagger abilities are. Go in and stagger the boss. Go. Stagger, 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 stagger. Do whatever you need to do. Go out, and then look where your receiving orb is. Spam it. Spam the orb. Spam the orb. Spam the orb. Spam the orb. Spam, 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 spam. So you throw it right away. You can see right there. And the boss is going to jump in, and he's going to get restrained. So make sure you're spamming that orb in the middle of the map where you're standing, so he always gets restrained. And then use your stagger abilities right here. So stagger, 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 stagger. Because you want him to be staggered here 100%. And now just go ahead and take down the boss. Super duper easy. If you miss this orb and miss the restraint, you know, you're going to have a very bad time. I'll be honest. So we're just going to go ahead and use our normal ult. I'm not using hyper. Ults do a lot of damage in this fight, so I would always recommend using some ults on the bosses to make the fight go by a little bit quicker. So let's do another stagger check. It's gonna be a bit harder, and we're just gonna take him down right here. Whoop. There we go. So Gate 2 is not that bad. It's just gonna be that little counter part is the hardest part. But don't worry about it too much. Just try to dish out as much damage as possible. Pick up the red orbs and use that cooldown reduction. Alright, Gate 3, we are going to grab ourselves our Whirlwind Nade back. We need Whirlwind and Destruction Bombs for this. You need them. They're very, very, very important. As well, again, know what your counter ability is, because we're going to have to counter a lot in this fight. So, first mech is going to be the Mirror Mech. And it's going to be a little bit tricky for you the first time, but I'll try to explain it as good as I possibly can. So let's head into the fight right now. We're going to have to do a little bit of damage until around 160. So we're just going to go ahead and skip it up. We don't really care about it too much. Boom, boom, boom. 160, please. Would be appreciated. You're going to get to this very fast as well. So don't worry about it too much. If you get this mech with the little cone, put it outside by aiming outside and then go in. As you see right there. Put him to 160. There's a grab. Just dash outside. It's going to put a circle on the floor. Go in the circle, and then you'll be safe. Alright, mech, 160. Go to the right side first. We're going to have 3 cones, and the last cone needs to hit on the mirror. 2, 3, and then out. So, 1 red, 2 red. Dodge the yellow. Red cone, out. 1 red, 2 red, dodge the yellow, red cone, out. Okay, and now it's stagger check. So use your whirlwind nade, use your abilities, because we're going to have to use this. Don't care about the mirrors on the side. Just go ahead and do as much damage as you can. Only thing you have to care about, if you do too much damage, you're going to phase him, and you're going to need your counter. You can see right now, I'm probably going to do too much damage. No, actually, we're not at 120 yet. So make sure that you have your counter, because otherwise you cannot do the next max. And it should phase now after this one. He's going to spin. Just be on the inside. And mech time. Okay, so look at the mirrors he's stabbing. Those are the ones you have to counter. He didn't step down. You didn't hear him go choom through it as well. No, don't hit that one. He's not stabbing it. Like, he has to go through it. There we go. You hear a shoom as well. And then counter the thing coming out of it. There's 2 of them. Not a shoom right there. Counter him. Boom. Okay. And now we go ahead and stagger him. Stagger. Stagger. If you need a whirlwind nade, go ahead and use it. Because otherwise, you're going to go ahead and die to this. Like I said, it's a very hard stagger check. So, this is if you don't touch the boss at all, which is pretty bad. Alright, we're going to get to the mechanic right now again. So, what you should do is you should try to stagger the boss as much as possible while you're chilling here. So, keep an eye out on the mirrors and when you should counter. So, that's a counter. But I'm still staggering the boss at the same time, because it's very important to do that and counter. And now, of course, we're going to get ourselves the mech. So we can go ahead and do a little bit more stagger. Counter this one again. If you get an early one, you have to do some more mirrors. So now we can go ahead and stagger the boss a bit more. And because we have that new stagger ability, we are a little bit faster. But I am right now, of course, not using True Supporter buff anymore, so it's going to be a bit slower. So it's one of the two, you know. If you think it's really hard to focus on staggering in the middle before you have to go ahead and do the big stagger, you can swap the True Supporter buff out if you want to, but it's going to be a bit slower. You can see my damage right now is going to be probably half of what it was before, because True Supporter is just that good. If this is gold out and in, and we're just going to go ahead and focus on it. You can see right there, I'm only doing 27 mil instead of like 50 mil I was doing before. So it's going a lot slower. Even T-Skill does, like, instead of 5 mils, just 3 mil. Put it outside. And like I said, we're going to around times 60. And we have to be ready for Destruction Nade. The first thing we have to do is throw the Destruction Nade on the mirror. And once we've done that, we then have to stagger the boss in the middle. And then we have to do another destruction check after this. So this is going to be dodge this and then get into the purple. Get into the purple. Do a typing test. This happens if you see the lines pop up, purple, and then go in here. This gives you a good DPS time as well. We don't want to use too many abilities because, like I said, at time 60 is the mech. So this one is quite annoying. This is a periodic timed mech that he does. Just dodge the rads. Don't care about them. Just dodge the rad. And then we're going to have to do a counter. So look for the odd one out. It's going to do something. There we go. Counter him up. So we're going to quickly do one of these, and I think this should be enough. Okay, so get ready. Destruction Nade on the mirror that's going to appear right here at the bottom. Destruction Nade. Boom. Then use Whirlwind. Boom. And then Destruction on the sword. Destruction. Boom. There you go. It's a triple whammy. So now the boss is going to go ahead and grab you up. It's going to be 1 red, 2 red, go in front of him. 2 red in front of him. So these explosions is what I mean by reds. Then you get grabbed. So 1 red, 2 red in front of him at the bottom, 6 o'clock. And then it's going to be a guardian right here. Take down the guardian. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Alright. So now we're going to have to go ahead and stagger him. So we have another whirlwind nade. He's going to do his little animation. And stagger him. Go. Whirlwind nades. Of course, if you didn't have a whirlwind anymore, then you have to use your abilities. Okay. This is it. Now just go ahead and put him to 0 HP bars. He's going to do a little phase at 40, but most of the time people will reach this right now. Like I said, I'm very weak right now because I'm not using the True Support above. And I don't have engravings on, so it's even worse. But like I said, this raid is the only one I would say it's really annoying to not have stagger. So careful not to get hit by the yellow because she will die. Of course, you have 1 extra life, but you don't want to get hit by that. There we go, mech. And this is just DPS. Don't worry about anything happening. Just DPS it up. Get him to 0 HP. And just do as much damage as possible. For the fun, we're just going to go ahead and use our hyper. Because I'm not really bothered. Because the fight's over, technically. So, see ya, boss. Okay, Thaemine, make sure you bring yourself your Destruction Nade, Whirlwind Nade, all the kind of basic stuff. So let's head into the fight. This one is quite annoying. I'll be honest, it's quite annoying. We're at the 1610 level. We're gonna get into the final 2 raids, of course, for the game that are currently existing in solo mode. So she's gonna go ahead and dash in. She's gonna go ahead and knock you up if you get hit by her. And we're just gonna do some damage. Don't be at the ass if she does that ability. And we're just gonna do as much damage as possible. So we have to imagine that every 3 attacks she does, she is gonna do a counter. So if she does 3 attacks, she will do a counter afterwards. 1 attack, 2 attack, which is going to be a swipe, 2 attack, and counter. Of course, if we miss it, then she's going to keep doing this, and it's going to be annoying. So try to hit the counter. I have sadly a very low cooldown counter, so it is what it is. But she's going to keep doing this counter right now, every single time. And every time I get hit, I get a bleed stack. And if I get 10 bleed stacks, I'm going to go ahead and take a lot of damage. I'm going to get stunned. It's going to be annoying. So now she's done again. 1, 2, and 3. Counter. Alright. So it's very important that you know that she's going to do counters and just try to DPS her down at the same time. So she drops these organisms as well at the same time sometimes. Pick them up. They're going to aid you in doing some damage later on. So once you get yourself the cutscene, she goes away. Go to the right side and throw a Destruction Nade on any of the tentacles. Like that. Don't get grabbed by them, and then just do some stagger. Whoop-bum. Whoop-bum. And that's it. Like I said, I'm not really going to counter, I'm not really going to focus that much on the counters, just because my counter has a very long cooldown, and it's my biggest DPS skill on DPS artists. I'm not really going to care that much. Oh, there we go. It worked out. So you get this weak point thing. You can put it on the dark spots on the map if you want to, but we don't really care about this too much, because we're going to use Balthor to skip it anyway. So we're going to put it down. So I'm not going to do the mech correctly, but if you get another crosshair, which is doing another counter, put it on the same spot, and you don't have to use Balthor in the next mech, which I'm going to show as well. So this is what she does periodically. She does like random attacks, which are just very, very annoying. It's just being a very annoying piece of garbage. So this happens right now. So we didn't do the mech correctly because we didn't get 2 counters. Don't worry about it. So if she goes here, dodge the red circles because those are going to one-shot you. And then use Balthor. Control-C. So that happens. He's going to go and grab his hammer and knock her into the sky. And you're good to go. So we need a Destruction Nade once again here. There's going to be an orb spawning on the floor right there. Wait for the red. And then throw a Destruction Nade on the orb while you're standing next to it, and you're going to get pulled up. Of course, you can go ahead and use abilities as well if you want to, but a Destruction Nade is just way easier. And you use it in the group version as well, always a Destruction Nade. So I want her to do her grab, which hopefully is the next pattern she does. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So she's going to target you. She wants to grab you and nom you. So what you do is you stand next to her, and you follow her and go to her ass. So go ahead, wait for it to go, and then counter at the end right there. If you get grabbed, you just lose some HP, so don't worry about it too much. But and let's go put her to the last phase. So we're gonna go to the side once again. She's below 50, so she's gonna phase up soon. There we go. Destruction Nade again on the tentacles and stagger afterwards. It's gonna happen. 3, 2, 1. Nade those. And we go in and stagger check. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. There we go. Done. So, next mech, we're going to have to use Balthor. So, around like 35, 32 HP lines, she's going to pull out her claws. The second you see that, you're going to press Balthor, okay? So, that's where we're going to go right now. We're going to do that. She's going to do the exact same things. And we're going to make her force out her claws. She's going to just do her random annoying attacks. These eyes, by the way, if you step over them, they're going to nom. And if they nom you, you lose a lot of HP, as you can see right there. Let me just do that one more time. Actually, maybe in solo mode you don't take that much damage. See, there we go, 60k. So, careful for those eyes. They're going to do some damage. In normal mode, they're going to put you to 1 HP. So, she's just doing some stuff. And around 35 bars. She's going to be a little bit lower. Claws. Right now, see claws. And put Balthor. Be inside of it. Careful, dodge the boss. And now she's going to get herself a shield. You have to defeat the shield. So use Atcher if you have to. Don't worry about the safe spot. You'll be good. So you just go ahead and put her down. Use an ulti if you have it. Does a lot of damage. And then you can just go ahead and DPS her to 0. And that's it. That is gate 1. Okay, gate 2. Once again, the fight is very important. You keep your counter. We will need our counter in a little bit. So we're going to go into the fight right now. We're going to have to put him to around 135 HP bars. So enjoy your DPS moment. You're going to have quite a bit of time. He's going to be quite annoying. He's going to try to grab you, try to knock you up. He's going to summon thunderbolts. He's going to summon little dragons like this. So don't worry about it too much. Just focus on DPSing and you'll be fine. There's nothing really too much that can kill you inside of this starting part of the fight, so just focus on just DPSing and don't really care about him that much. If he goes away, by the way, just run in a circle and try to dodge his grab. And of course, he has a lot of counter patterns as well in solo mode. In normal mode, he doesn't actually have all these counters, but in solo mode, they give them to you. I don't really know why. So you can hit them if you want to, but don't care about them too much. I'm not going to hit them just for the sake of simplicity inside of here. So there's a grab. Don't get grabbed by that. And we're just going to put him to 135. So, whopam. And one more. And it should be 130. So now we need our counter. Be in the middle. Gonna get this little cutscene. Know what your counter is. We're going to wait. And then we're going to go ahead and dash down and stand here. And we have to counter this orb that comes towards us. Counter the orb and counter. Okay. Move to the boss. If it's red, don't counter. Only on blue. And if you miss it, you die. Like this. So it's a very fast counter. Counter mech again. And this time, let's be fast. So make sure you are quick with this. So counter first. Go to the boss. Don't counter if it's red. Otherwise, counter right away. So counter the orb. Bonk. Go to the boss. Go to the boss. Go to the boss. Look. Is it blue counter? Red? No counter. Red. Blue. There we go. And then we're good to go. We go to the bottom already. Around here. Same position. It's going to go to the top. Just dodge this. He's going to summon some yellows. Just don't get hit by any of these. It's going to be yellows coming in right now. And a little bit careful. Yellow here. Yellow there. Don't get hit by those. And that's it. We're going to go to the next fight. So get ready with Control X. It's going to be very fast. Once the boss does a ree, we go ahead and use Control X. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. Control X is going to go do ree once he goes down. Wait, watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Use Control X. Go. And then you get the special Azina. And just DPS him. DPS his bitch ass. Get him. Bonk. DPS. Go. Alright, there we go. So he's now going to go ahead and be DPS'd. And you're going to do... I have to do a little bit more, actually. Like, we have to go to like 70 bars, so... Like I said, support doesn't do that much damage, and especially I'm still using only 2 engravings, so we're a little bit weak at this point in time. But you know, it's fine. If we can do it with 2 engravings, you can do it with 5, you know, easily. It's totally fine. You're gonna do 60% more damage than I am, so. And just DPS. Don't really care too much about these mechanics, guys. Don't worry about it. Like. Alright, so this is, you get yourself a little pool, put it outside. It's going to be quite annoying because it does a lot of damage, going to slow you down. So put it on the outside of the map, and then you can go back to DPSing him. So it goes away right now. Look at this color. It's either going to be white with black or purple. So dark purple, so we have to put in this right here. The white with black. You have to put in the opposite color you see in the middle, because we see purple, black. We have to put in white, black. So, boom. We have a lot of time, so don't worry about it too much. You have to hit 3 orbs, and then we are good. There we go. So he now is taken down, and we just have to do some stagger. I mean, some damage. Careful, he's going to go as well, and a little bit go on the outside. Dodge this circle. And if you have a lot of damage, you can go ahead and skip the final phase, but of course, we're not going to do that. So, if he does like a long pattern, I will say which one it is. You can go ahead and put him to 0 HP and he will literally die. Otherwise, if you reach him below 20, he will start doing a last mechanic as a last resort to take you down. 1, 2. Careful for those yellows. One bomb. She's going to go to the left. Just do a little bit of damage. Just put him to 20. This is again not any of the long patterns she can do. So if you're waiting for a long pattern to skip him, you can use this one, for example. This one's pretty good as well. We don't really care about this mechanic. We don't have enough poles on the ground for it to matter for us. Yellow, yellow. If he does his ree, goes on his back legs, is always this one. Let's do some damage. And we're below 20. So we're going to get the mech right now. We didn't get it like a skip thing right now. So go in the middle, and there's going to be some mobs spawning. We have to defeat the mobs. There's going to be 2 waves of mobs, and then the big dragon phase. So, mobs, mobs, mobs. Careful, you're going to get maybe stunned by them. So, make sure to be careful for the lightning falling off from the sky, and take them down. And meanwhile, phase 1. And we're going to get phase 2. We have to do this as fast as possible. By the way, this is a timed mechanic. If you take too long, you will literally just die. So, take them down as fast as possible. Okay, stand in the middle. And look for the one that shows a counter. Don't counter him, though. Don't counter. The counter one's over there. And we're going to go to his ass. And then use Ctrl-Z Thaemine on the middle. So it hits both dragons. Like this. And then we just go ahead and the phase is over. And the boss is going to fall on the ground. And we can just defeat them. And that is gate 2. If you, of course, miss the side aerial, it is kind of GG. You can try to DPS him if you have a lot of damage. Or if you have a hyper wake, you can probably kill it as well. You don't have to use Thaemine. But, yeah, it's going to be quite tough otherwise. Okay, we have arrived in Gate 3, and this one is very, very, very tricky. I would recommend watching a few separate guides on this as well if you really want to learn this fight into the maximum. And that's going to be right now. I'm going to put it on screen because it's not my video. Albion for Dummies is the first one. It's going to be the big first mech which you're going to have to do. It's going to be the Albion mech. It's going to be really hard to explain because there's so many different patterns. I will try to do it, of course, but if you really want a clear-cut video guide on that, watch that video. It's really, really good. Albion for Dummies. So we're going to go ahead and explain the identity mech right now. Again, if you really want into in-depth guides, there is a lot of them out there, but I'm going to try to explain this easy as possible. So every 40 seconds, a bar is going to fill up of the total 5 bars. Once the full bar fills up at number 5, we're going to get ourselves the invisible wipe mech, which you're going to have to just look at animations to know what's going to happen. It's going to do 2 in a row as well. But every little small bar he does, as well, is going to be a red wipe mech, which you can see. So there's 2 versions of these wipe maps. We either have a normal or enhanced version, and it's based on how far you're into the fight that it does these. So first off, it always starts with normal. So we're going to fight the boss. We're going to have normal patterns. We're going to have a mechanic where we're going to have to defeat a sword in the middle. Once we've defeated that sword, he's going to turn into enhanced mechanics. This is going to go to you all the way until like around middle in the fight, where we're going to break the platform in half. The second the platform breaks in half, we're going to go back to normal patterns. I will say it as well once this happens inside the raid. And then later on, we're going to the basement. Once we reach the basement, his patterns are enhanced again. So then we have ourselves, of course, the different mechanics. There's going to be 3 of them you kind of have to know, times 2, of course, because there's a normal and enhanced version. So first up, we have ourselves the cube mech, which is either going to be on his right side of his normal, where it's safe, or otherwise it's going to be his ass, where it's safe. So he's going to pull his sword, put it on the side, like that, and know to go to his right side. That's the safe spot. That's the first one. If he puts his sword in front of him on the side like this, like a slicing animation, like that, you can see right there, he charges it up, it's on his ass, be there. So this one's not that bad, very easy. Next up, it's going to be a circle. It's going to be putting his sword horizontally in front of him, like this. Look at it. It's going to be for normal pattern, a circle, be in the circle safe zone. You can see this one by the red indicator on the floor still, even in darkness, so you will see a red glow that will indicate where the circle's at. It's pretty generous, and you should be good to go with that. If you go to enhance, it's going to be front, left, right, and bottom is going to be safe of him. Again, it's going to be in front of him. Super universal animations. That's nice to know. And you're going to do slices. You're not going to instantly one-shot if you get hit by this, but just go ahead and be careful. There's a lot of damage. So that's going to be the second one. And then we're going to have the third one, which is going to be the pizza. This one's quite simple as well. So you can see his ass indicator, which is the blue one. You see a little dot in the middle. So his bottom right ass cheek, so the bottom right part of the blue, is always safe as the first one. So if you're wondering where you need to stand, if it's darkness, if it's dark, look at the blue indicator, look at the dot, look at the right side of the blue, stand there. So we'll see that more in part 2. So the first one, when it's not enhanced, you just have to stand still. So it's going to do it twice in the same spot. So twice, 1, 2. And if it's enhanced, which of course will be after sword break or in the basement, you will have to go ahead and alternate. So you can see right as Sheik is where he's standing right now. Right as Sheik is safe. Look at this AoE. See? So right as Cheek is always safe. So if you don't know where to go, right as Cheek is the way. Right as Cheek, and then just alternate to the place where it wasn't before. So you can go there, you can go inside. Just do whatever you want to do. And that is going to be both red, white mechs. Like I said, we have Albion as well. We will see Albion right here. These are the only options you can have. Like I said, there's so much. I think you should just go ahead and watch the Albion for Dummies guide. It is so good. They really explain it really well in there. But it's just based on what you're gonna see. You're gonna have to do a certain mechanic. So there can be a wave inside. You're gonna have to spacebar over the wave and then stand outside. The next one is gonna be double wave. It's gonna be dash over the wave and hug his ass. Then we're gonna have ourselves, like, if it starts with a line outwards, you go, you know, see what is in there. I'm just gonna go into the fight, guys. It will make more sense once I show it off. Like I said, go watch Albion for Dummies. It's really hard to explain. There's so many different patterns, and yeah, the red white mechs I can explain, but the other ones are just a bit whatever. So first mech, look at where his hand is going after the explosion. He's gonna put up his hand. Go where his hand is at. Look at him. Look at him. Hand goes up on the right. We go to the right side. Go right side. Wait for it. Wait for the line. Don't go in yet. Don't go in. Wait for the explosion. Then go in. And now we stagger. We stagger. We do damage and we stagger, because the more damage we do here, the more he is going to go ahead and be lowered in the future mech. But, of course, its stagger is most important here. I have no stagger at all, because this class really sucks. And we got ourselves a 3 debuff stack. And this is really bad, because this is going to give me 5% extra damage per stack. He does this slice attack right now as well at the start. Dodge this. This is insta-kill. Don't get hit by this. Grab on the ass. Left hit. Try to stick to his front. Like, this boss is a lot of mechanics during the normal fights. I'm going to try to explain them all. Stand to the front, and you'll be safe for this one. I'll try to call out every single mechanic that happens during the fight. Stand close to him. Outside, and then inside. I shouldn't have used his ability, because I'm going to knock back. Okay. This is going to be teleporting away. We get a mark on the floor. Try to put it outside and try to dodge his slice. And if we put it on the floor later on, there will be more. You will put down a warrior, and this warrior will emit a red line as well, which does damage. Okay, go inside. And we have to spacebar over the black fog that's going to appear. Spacebar over the black fog. Doing this mech, spacebar over it, and this is Albion. So this is the easy one. This is dash over the line and then go out. Dash over the line and go out. This is the easiest one. Like, if you have a really big issue with Thaemine, just reset into this. This is the red spin. Like I said, in front of him, red spin. We have not defeated the sword yet, so it's gonna be basic patterns. Keep that in mind. This is gonna be random red swords on the floor. Just dodge these, because these are gonna give you a stack if you get hit by them. Careful. Out, in, out, in. And we're gonna get ourselves the mech right here. So if you want to, you can use Inanna here if you think it's really hard, but you can just go ahead and dodge this, because right now it's just a DPS check. We're gonna go ahead and DPS the sword. There's gonna be these big red ones. Don't worry about it too much. Eventually they're gonna go ahead and lock in, so don't be near them, because you see they're locked in right now, and they will explode and do a lot of damage. So your main objective is just to do damage to the sword in there, and don't get hit by the reds. This sword right now is going to do 2 to 3 abilities, and after it's going to be a counter. So make sure to be ready for that. 1 ability, and there's going to be a 2nd ability. So he can now do a counter already, but he doesn't do it. So now it's guaranteed counter after this one. So get ready with your counter. It's going to do a counter ability. It's going to teleport away and counter. There we go. So now just do as much damage as possible. Try to take him down to 0. I would say like 1 counter is all you need to do. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of damage here. Don't worry about the stagger check. It's a bit whatever. Alright. So now we're going to continue on. Next mechanic is we're going to have to dash over him again. So there's going to be another line, just like the first mechanic that happened. We're going to have to dash over him. And you can see right now, when he does this, another red line appears. So every single time he's going to go ahead and put a sword on you, you're going to spawn another dummy. Careful. This is going to be another. And this is the enhanced now, because we've defeated the sword. So it's enhanced mech. It's not the circle anymore. This is the circle mech. So keep that in mind. This is a axe spread and bow behind him. So these swords, when they appear, they're going to be more and more and more and more. So be very careful. If he does this towards you, go away from him and dodge these slices. So he's going to do some dashes around the map, and he's going to lock into you, and he wants to hit you with big target slices. So just go ahead and dodge those. Like I said, there's so much going on in this fight. Try to just, try to take it all in. I'm trying to explain as much as possible, but like I said, there's so much. This is the slice beyond the ass. His ass is pretty safe for most of the time. Most of the time. As long as I'm not trying to DPS as much because people are going to be scared. Again, same mechanic as before. We're getting the very easy patterns, by the way. We're getting the very easy patterns. Alright, dash over the smoke. Dash over the smoke. Dash over. If you don't get dash over, you don't see these safe spots and you're gonna die. So we're now have to go to a safe spot, look around, go into the safe spot, and we're good there. Get a little cutscene. Alright, so the next mech is going to be the horse mech, and we're going to have to do our clashes. Press G to grab it up, of course, and we're going to have to press some buttons. If you fail, don't worry about it, but we're going to have to actually do DPS. But if you do the clash correctly, you're not going to have to do any DPS, which is perfect, especially for support. So we have full mech. We're going to have to do 2 red-white mechs without seeing. So again, spinny one. So go to the ass. We know that it's going to be there safe. But look at the boss. We need to know what's next. It's going to be alternate. Right dash cheek, left dash cheek. So like I said, you have to learn these. Because you have to do these blind. That mech just try to stay inside, or you can go outside on the outside edge if you want to as well. Spacebar inwards. And here we go, the mech. So we have to take this clash, okay? You have to take this, and you have to succeed this. If you don't do it, we will use Inanna to be sure that we're safe and try to do as much DPS as possible. Afterwards, there will be another clash. But we're going to just succeed the first one correctly, because she should just succeed this. So we're going to go follow him, follow his ass. And then he's going to spawn the clash. Press G, and we're going to have to type the letters. It's on the screen right now. Q. Make sure to line up. It's like Osu if you've ever played that rhythm game. Q. And then we're good to go, and he's going to be defeated. If you fail this, then use the Sidereal Inanna. Control C, the third one after this phase, to make sure you do not die. So you can use this one afterwards and take her down. So you can see right here, you can now use Inanna and just take him down. It was hardly an HP because we did that much damage with the clash. I could have used one ability. We didn't have to use Inanna, but just in case, this is what happens then. Okay, so now we're in the final phase. No, actually not the final phase. We're actually in the second to last phase, sorry. And we're gonna have to do more damage as well. But right now, what's very important, you can fall off the map. So don't get hit by his big attacks. Don't get hit by annoying attacks, because you're gonna fall out of the map. But we do have right now boulder energy, so the only way we can fall off the map is by a grab. So because we are mainly pushing him right now, we're going to just focus on doing as much damage as possible, because we're going to need to do this damage. And he's doing some dashes. We're going to go away from him, because he's going to try to hit us with big slices. Big slices, big slices. If he does like a lot of dashes, like we have to do that. So every now and then right now, he's going to go ahead and go to his side, and he's either going to give you a clash or he's going to give you a break. So this right now is he's going to attempt to destroy the area, and we're going to have to take this clash right here. Take the clash. Okay, once again, Q. Yeah, it's a nice little indicator, of course, where you need to go. There's just going to be 2 buttons this time for this clash. Q. So it's 3 buttons into 2 buttons. Okay. And we're just going to do some damage. He's going to go and do another red-white mechanic. So these are enhanced, because he still has not broken the platform. And because he's not broken the platform, he's not going to die. Good, we're good, we're good. Again, care for the slice. Put the thing outside. There's going to be even more red lines. You can see, because we have put out 3 stitches so far, so we get 3 red lines. Now we get 4 stitches done, so 4 red lines. Next time he does the same attack. So we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit more damage, because we're very slow. Grab, careful. This is one can put you off the map. But because you have this boulder energy, it's very hard to fall off the map currently. So it's very nice. Alright, so we cannot clash this time, so it's gonna break right now. Stand away from it, stand around like here, and do some damage. So, Now the platform is broken, so your red wipe mechanics are not enhanced anymore. They're now normal wipe mechanics in front of him. So keep it in mind, this is normal wipe mechanics and no alternating. No, it's going to be on the left side. So look at this. We're now going to stand still. This is not alternating. I'm just going to stand here. Look, 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 look. It's normal patterns. It's normal patterns. So keep that in mind. Platform broken, normal pattern. Platform broken, normal pattern. Keep it in mind. It's very important. Alright, we've got him below 90 bars, which is fine. And we can just go ahead and do it. So like I said, this will happen pretty fast. Like I didn't even notice it. You can go ahead and wait to use Nineveh as well. Careful, this is insta-kill. He's going to teleport. And dash afterwards. Dash. Okay. So if you want to right here, you can use yourself Nineveh. And we're just going to make sure that he's going to go here. There we go. So Nineveh is going to do a lot of damage. And around 50, he's going to go do his next mech. There we go. And we're going to have to do a typing test right now. Typing test. And go to the safe spot that is on the map. So just look around, look around. We're going to go right here. And then we're going to have to go to the middle of the map. There will be a clone, and we're going to have to kill the clone of yourself. You can just use a basic attack if you have your legs upped from Transcendence. So I'm just going to go ahead and basic attack him. And he's going to go take down because successor strength. And then we can go ahead and do some DPS right here. Wapam. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna get another clash. It's gonna be alternate, always left and then middle. It's always the same. Always this one first, that one here. And we're gonna get another clash right here. It's gonna go to the left side. Boom, boom, boom. Clash on his ass. Go there and take it. This is gonna be a long clash. It's like, I think it's 5 or 6, if I remember correctly. So just do this clash correctly. It's gonna do a lot of damage. That's nice. Do the clashes, do the clashes. And if you do them all perfectly, you're good to go. And there we go. He's down a lot of HP bars. You can see he's only at 60 speed bars, so he's gonna go down. Careful for this slice right here near the end. And he should die. There we go. So, of course, you gotta do less damage if you're gonna fail the clash and see right, you're just gonna have to do more normal damage. But that is Thaemine. That was a lot. I know. I'm sorry about it, but Gate 3 is just a lot. Like I said, watch Albion for dummies. It's very important. Otherwise, just reset until you get that mech that I just shown. It's very, very, very easy. But the other, I would say there is going to be 2 easy patterns and 2 hard patterns, and you should just know what they're doing, to be honest. And that video entails it perfectly, to be honest. So, yeah, that was Gate 3. On to the final raid. And here we go, the final raid as well. I'm on my baby breaker. He's a little bit lower eye level. He is 1649. But the reason for that is I don't have Echidna on my artist. I already did it. I forgot about doing it, so that's what we're using. We're using a little bit more, so I'll try to not DPS as much, but this should be a pretty reasonable comparison as well to what you're normally doing as a DPS. So we can finally see one raid where we're DPSing instead of supporting. So we're gonna head into Echidna right now. We're just gonna have our basic setup. Actually, I have like some charms. It's a bit whatever. So we're gonna have to fight this little boss right here. Careful for the dragon coming past you. Just go ahead and take him down. And then we're gonna see this boss getting staggered. And we're gonna watch him because he's gonna do something. Okay, if he does something there, stand still, we can use the sidereal. And he's gonna go ahead and take some good damage. And we're just gonna have to take him down to 160. So as you can see, it goes pretty fast. Like DPS do so much more damage. It's crazy. That's why, of course, I wanted to do most of it on support. But you know, that's what it is. I just don't have the Echidna on the support. So it is what it is. So we're just gonna have to go through it. So that was the first phase. Very, very easy. Don't worry about it too much. Take down all these mobs right here. We're gonna fight a big dragon. Once the big dragon is down, we're gonna keep moving on, and we're gonna have to do a stagger check. So that's why we have ourselves a woven nade as well, just in case we need a little bit of extra stagger. Boom, there we go. And oh, it feels so good. Like after playing support now for like 8 raids in a row, Playing a DPS feels so smooth, man. Especially something slow like Artist, where there's a lot of charge attacks and long cooldowns. I'm right now like zooming through this. It feels actually really good. So we're upside right now, and we're gonna go ahead and take him down with a stagger check. So boom, use a Woven Nade if you want to, and there we go. And probably if I use one ability, it's gonna go ahead and phase. There's a lot of you have a lot of time for this. Don't worry about it too much. So we're gonna watch him and do a few abilities. He's gonna be very annoying. Mainly stay around the Ash. He'll be fine for most attacks, most things he's gonna do. As well, we're gonna go ahead and take him down a little bit more, and now it's gonna go phase into his next mech around like 130-ish. There we go. So we're gonna have to go ahead and go into some safe spots, and after 2 safe spots, we're gonna have to do a counter. So let's see what happens. So we're gonna look around. It's gonna be 1 or 2 colors, so we're gonna go into the one that's odd. So we had a 1 red, all black, so we're gonna stand on the red. So that's gonna be number 1. Stand on where you were standing before, because it will spawn a shield. 1, and then number 2 will be a counter. So the counter will be where the person's running to, and it's always around like the top right side of the map. So it can be 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's gonna go here, do a counter on the boss. There we go. And that's it. And now we can just go ahead and do some more DPS. If you really want to, of course, gonna go down very fast. You can use you can even if you want to use Sidereal here once, but we're just gonna go ahead and just do it safely. Just gonna not do too much damage. So he's right now gonna spawn some minions. You see them on the map, the red minions? So if that happens, if you're not fast enough to phase him, you're gonna go ahead and use Ctrl X to the middle skill, this one right here. It's gonna spawn some swords, and then you're gonna use the follow-up skill as well. Because if you use the follow-up skill, it will get rid of any other mobs that didn't get hit by the circle, just in case. And as well, it's gonna hit the boss and hopefully phase him. There we go, he's now phased. So phase is done. We're gonna go ahead and BTP to another island, and we're gonna have to go ahead and just hit the mini boss. I would recommend just getting rid of the mobs after the stagger check, because we're gonna have to do a stagger check first. This is why we have ourselves Woven Nade. Do a stagger check. There we go. And then get rid of the mobs. Mobs are very annoying in here. There we go. Now we're just gonna go ahead and keep on DPSing the boss. Nothing much going on, you know. She, of course, sometimes does some counters. She does some other things, so just give her a little bit of time. You know, we'll take a little bit of a chill pill. Like, we're going pretty fast right now. Like, I'm in my DPS heaven. Like, I'm playing my main character, you know. I'm playing Breakers, my main DPS, currently at this moment. And I'm just having a lot of fun with it, so I'm just gonna do a few circles. As you can see, you would just be DPSing right now. Like, she's gonna go down pretty fast. So we're just gonna go and do a little bit of damage right now, because like I said, you would be doing a lot of damage right now at this moment. I'm a little bit overgeared though, because you'll be around like 1610, 1620. If you're 1620, of course, you get your hypers, you get your T-skills, you're gonna do a lot more damage here. A lot more damage. But we're just gonna go ahead and just do a little bit chill. Counter right there. We're just gonna ignore it for now. And she's gonna phase. Boom, there we go. So the phase is done. We're now just gonna go ahead and DPS him, because he's just on the floor. And he's gonna phase. And now just put him to 0. There's nothing to do here. Just put him all the way to 0 HP. Of course, if you have a hyper, you can use hyper here as well. If you don't have hyper, just do your normal abilities. And there we go. That is gate 1. Very, very, very easy. The only hard part, in my opinion, is that little counter inside of the mechanic, and the rest is just hit the boss. And here we go, the big booba lady herself, Echidna time. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some more appropriate potions and stuff. We are taking a Flame Nade just in case. This can be very useful if you mess up and do some stuff wrong, so we're taking it just in case we need it. So we're gonna get into the fight right now. I'm not gonna try to DPS as much, because he actually has a lot of different mechanics which you can do during the fight. So we're going to take a look first. We're just going to look at her. So this is her grab attack. If this hits you, we're going to get hit by this right now. Actually, she doesn't counter. If we get hit by this, we're going to get a stack. You can see the stack right here. If we get 3 stacks, we get charms. So again, another one. If we get hit by that, we get another stack. So be careful about her abilities. You have to know what she does. Okay, we're going to take a look again. she's going to do her mirror mech. So these mirrors are going to lock into you. And if you get hit by these, of course, you're going to take damage. So, see right there. I walked into it for a little bit. Another charm. She's back. Gives you a good DPS opportunity as well if you want to. Let's do the next mechanic. Boom, knock up. This one does not give you a stack. If you walk into these pods right now, you get a stack. See right there. I'm going to be right now fully charmed, and I'm going to get hit by the thing, and I'm probably going to die. Actually, I'm not fully dead. Okay, it's not too bad. But you see, if you get hit by stuff, you're going to get down really, really fast. It's not as punishing in solo mode as it is in hard mode, in my opinion, getting charmed. But there we go, another charm right there. So mainly just try to avoid all the charms that she does. We have seen most of them right now. There's a few more. This is another one that gives a charm stack. So go out here, technically out, because you're going to get knocked up. And there's a stack right here if you get hit by this line. So this is a fly trap. So we're going to have to just walk. So we're going to wait. There's going to be a pool on the floor. And go to the next tile. Just don't run. Just chill. Go to the next tile. Go to the next tile. Go to the next tile. And that's what it says. Like, a foul stench is like blooming. Watch out. You know, this will happen. Still be on the tile. Still get known by the plants. Alright. You see these two blue tiles? We have to stand in between of those. Because we're going to have to connect the mirror to Echidna. So, we're standing right here. It will be anywhere on the map. So, the mirror's going to shoot something. It's going to hit me. And it's going to hit the Echidna. And then we can do some damage. Okay, let's do a little bit of damage. Because otherwise, this fight's going to take ages. Another big mech right here. This is lasers. You have to respect these. So, we wait for this laser to disappear. Then we're going to jump to the other side. Laser. Jump. Go other side. And then we're good to go. Careful for this bottom laser. And then you can go inside and you'll be totally fine. This laser will do a lot of damage otherwise to you. So 210, we're going to get ourselves the counter mech. So there's going to be a fake mirror. It will be outlined in blue. And if you see the outlined blue mirror, you just press your counter on it. It's very important you hit it, so look for it. Right there. So we go to the mirror, press counter. It resets your counter as well. So every time you just look for the mirror and go to the counterable mirror. If you miss it, don't worry about it. And boom. There we go. And now we get ourselves, of course, another little buff. And we can do some more damage to Echidna. We have to put her to around 135 HP bars. So she's almost there. But like I said, like if you do good damage, you can go ahead and skip a lot on this boss. I'll watch her do another mech, so we'll just give her a bit of time. We're gonna do the 100% mech as well. Once again, on the floor. So you can see you get yourself something on your feet, put it away if you want to. There's a line as well that follows you. Just run away from it. If you get hit by it, there's a lot of damage. We saw that at the start. Getting charmed stuns you as well. I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna do another mirror mech. So just try to do as much damage as possible. You can see right there, you still have a generous amount of time, especially in Gate 2. So we're gonna wait until that full mech, and then we're gonna go ahead and phase her. By the time you should have been done as well. It doesn't take that long. This boss isn't that crazy, especially in solo mode. In hard mode and normal mode, it's a bit different, but you see a lot of counters as well, which you can hit if you want to. Okay, full bar. Once again, we have to be in between the mirror. Look where the mirror is aiming at. It's aiming towards the top, so we're gonna stand here, and it's gonna hit me, and it's gonna hit Echidna. There we go. And now we're gonna go ahead. And actually, we'll give her a little bit of time because she could... I don't know if she does a special mechanic after this right now. Because she had enough time. I don't think she does it. So let's just go ahead and phase her. There we go. Alright. Next phase is gonna be the Booba phase. This is what everyone's favorite phase is at. Look at them bazongas. Holy. So, we're gonna have ourselves two lines. Just dodge these. They're gonna periodically disappear. And right here again. Then we're gonna have a counter. So get ready for your counter. After this, third one. Then we're getting ourselves a counter. Get ready for the big physics as well. Counter right here. Physics. Woo! And we just right now will do as much stagger as possible. Destruction. So just hit her with all your abilities. You don't need any of them currently. So just hit her as much as you can. And then when he says this, we have to go ahead and take this clash. So take the clash right here. E. There we go. It's just one button. And then we can go ahead and if we want to, use Thor, Control C for him to finish off Echidna with the stagger. There we go. So that's right now done. We're good to go to the next phase, which can be the final phase. So we're just going to go ahead and do damage to her. She's now a little bit enhanced. Her abilities are a little bit different, but not too crazy. Like I said, the big thing, we have to use Thor here, Thor here, Thor here. Control C, Control C, Control C, Control C. Don't take us, don't take us. Control C, Control C, Control C. Thor is going to do the clash for you. Look at that. And you can DPS yourself. DPS yourself. Hit that snake with everything. Etro if you want to. And snake is dead. There you go. So that's what's important. Use Star for that. So the next time we're going to use a Sidereal is going to be the middle one. We're going to use Afernia, which is a new one. We're going to have to wait for this to expire because Tar is still chilling. Go to a corner and then go in afterwards and counter. Right there. So go to any of the corners. One here, you know, bottom right, bottom left, whatever you want for her. Hit the ability. So if her bar goes to 50%, so half of it, we're gonna have to use Judgment Flame Afernia. So we're gonna just take some damage here. We're gonna, like, as more damage you take, the more the bar is gonna fill up. So we're gonna just get hit by everything she's gonna throw at us. Like, we're not gonna die. We right now have the boulders, which is gonna reduce our damage taken. It's gonna give us push immunity. So I want to get hit as much as possible. This is what gives a lot of meter. This mech right here gives a lot of meter. So the more I'm gonna get hit, I want to get to 50%, so we at least show that. I don't believe there's any chance someone can get 100% meter, maybe, but I think with like how easy this boss is and how much damage you do, getting 100% hardly ever happens. So we're gonna reach 50% right now, and she's gonna spawn Snake Wall. So if you by chance don't have Afernia, you're gonna have to use a Flame Nade on the wall instead and use that safe spot, but we're gonna use Afernia here. So use Afernia when it says this can seem flammable. Use Afernia, Control X, and it's gonna burn all the walls you can see right there. So then of course you get a big chance to do some damage because she's just standing still. Look at how much damage we're doing. Boom. And she's gonna go down. This can stun you as well. She can grab you. She can still give you stacks during this phase as well. This is the fly 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Try to be on their ass, because otherwise every single of these waves gives you 1 stack. So it's pretty dangerous. There's again a spin. Go out. Go in. Alright, we're going to put it to 50 bars. This one's very simple. She's going to go to the middle, and she's going to hide in the mirror. And we're just going to have to follow the ass of the mirror. We're going to go to the ass of the mirror, okay? So the ass of the mirror right now, we're looking at the ass of the mirror. And we're just going to follow the ass of the mirror while looking at the mirror. So we're looking at the mirror. Look, I'm looking at the mirror. See? Following the ass, looking at the mirror. I'm not even staggering right now. I should stagger, but this is, I'm just showing what you need to do. And you just do your stagger check. Then she comes out, and you just put her to 0. So I'm for science, just going to go to 100 bar. Like I said, I think it's hardly possible to hit 100 bar in here, because look how long I've been AFKing. I have my ult as well. I didn't even use that. Like, if you maybe have hyper as well, if you're 1620, like, this boss probably will never reach 100%, but I'm just gonna go ahead and see what happens if we reach 100, because I actually don't even know what happens in solo mode. Okay, 100% bar has been achieved. We have to stop these snakes from reaching Echidna. So, and as well, we're not allowed to look at Echidna. So she's going to spawn some snakes, and we're going to have to take them down. So I would highly recommend just basic attack them or throw a Flame Nade. As you can see right now, I'm throwing a Flame Nade. And you can see the Flame Nade as well stops the snakes, because we're going to have to auto-attack the snakes with multiple hits to stop them. Right there, right there. So using a Flame Nade is very useful if you're like, oh, I'm stuck, I cannot really reach them. Throw a Flame Nade, and the Flame Nade will take care of them. And that's it. That's the whole fight, to be honest. This is a grab right here. Don't worry about it too much. And we're just going to use a hyper to finish off. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Goodbye, Echidna. Thank you for playing. So that's it, guys. That's all of the guides for every single solo mode. Oh, my lordy. This recording took 2.5 hours once again. We're going to have to go edit, have to do all the stuff. So I think, to be honest, I'm just gonna say thank you so much for watching. I hope it was useful. Let me know, of course, if there's any things that you know, I didn't do correctly or didn't explain it correctly. If you need any more tips or whatever, you can always look me up on Twitch/ImDefild if you need some extra help. And otherwise, you know, leave a comment down below and I always respond to those as well. So I'll say, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Go check out the other part as well if you need any of the earlier raids. And I'll see you again in 2 days for another video. So guys, take care, love you, bye. Thanks so much for watching. And of course as well, take care, guys.